Hi, I'm Dr. Leslie. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we are going to do KL Hokkien Mee. Now, the most important thing about KL Hokkien Mee is to get the right noodle. What you need is tai lok min. Whenever I go and eat KL Hokkien Mee, the hawker always tells me that they had to import the noodles directly from Malaysia. Then a few years back, I found out that there is a local food manufacturer that actually makes tai lok mee here in Singapore, so you can get it fresh. And the texture is very good. It's by Leong Guan. Now, a few years ago, right, when I was trying to get hold of this tai lok mee, it was very difficult. You had to go to the factory in Woodlands, and then they don't even sell to the general public. But nowadays, the good news is Leong Guan noodles can easily be found at your supermarket shelves, not the refrigerated section, yeah? They've been pasteurized. Of course, you want to buy it as fresh as you can and use it as soon as you can. But it's important that the noodles don't get put into the fridge, because if you put the noodles in the fridge, then it alters the texture. Let's start prepping some of the ingredients, okay? I've got some meat here. I've got some sotong or squid. And I got some prawns. The essential ingredients are actually the black sauce, the soulfish powder, and of course the tai lok mee. And pork lard. Okay, so what we do is we just slice the meat thinly for stir fry. Just season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, the salt seasons the meat and tenderizes it, so I always make a point to put a little bit of salt. Now we've got the sotong. Okay, so this is how you handle the sotong. You pull out the head and you'll see that it's got this bit of plastic inside here. This is the skeleton, I guess, of the squid. This one you can't eat, no matter what you do. Okay, so for the sotong, you want to take out the ink sac. You want to get rid of the beak, because that's the hard bit. And of course, you want the eyes. So for the body of the squid, I'm going to remove the wings, like that. And then you peel off all the rest of the skin. You know the term blur like sotong, right? Squid are really very blur creatures. If you know, I mean, in Singapore slang, blur means you don't really know what's happening. The way we catch squid when we go fishing is we shine a very bright light and all the squid will just be drawn to the light. That's where the term blur like sotong come from. Cut it into rings. Today I've got this really nice angka prawns, and I'm going to make it easy to cook by just removing the shell and the heads. Sometimes I leave the shell and the heads on, because I feel that they add flavor to the noodles, but you know, some people find it very difficult to eat when the head is on. So the trick to the prawn is you can either butterfly it, or you can just remove the veins by pulling on the. We also need some cabbage. Now, cabbage, I feel, is quite essential to the dish. If you don't have the cabbage, you sort of lose that sweet flavor in the dish. So cabbage, I would say, is essential. So what you need to do is just cut it like that. And then we're having a bit of green leafy vegetables. You can use chai sim, you can use something like this, Shanghai greens. You just need to cut off the base and separate them like that. And they'll add nice color. Make sure you heat up the wok first. Okay, so once the wok is hot, we add in some oil. Okay, we swirl it all around. And then you add in the cold oil. Some more cold oil. And I'm going to start by frying the seafood first. Now I don't want to overcook the seafood. In fact, I don't even want to cook the seafood. I just want to basically cook the outside and then flavor the oil at the same time. So now the oil has got the nice seafood flavor. I'm going to add some of the meat into the oil. If you have a wok about this size, especially for home stove, right, you can't fry the whole packet at one time because it'll be too much. So you want to split your cooking into two, right? So one packet can probably feed about 2 to 3 people. Okay, so the meat is nice and cooked now. I put in the garlic. And now we put in the cabbage. Alright, so let me share with you another tip. What I'm using here is actually ramen tonkotsu broth. Some stock. Okay, now we put in the noodles. The other key ingredient is this thick cooking caramel. Basically, this will give it that luscious black color, and you really need to put quite a bit of this. Okay, see how it turned color. I'm gonna try to get the soy sauce to caramelize a bit by cooking until it's dry, and then I will add in some more of the braising liquid, right? So as you add in the braising liquid, the noodles will start to absorb the flavors. Look at that lovely color. Okay, so this is the part where it dries up. Okay, and when it dries up, you want to just let the soy sauce char, you know, on the pan, because that's where you develop flavor. These noodles are very good, right? They're locally made, they're quite fresh, so it's only been made a few days ago, 1 or 2 days ago. It's holding its structure very well. Might want to add a bit of sugar just to balance out the flavor. Once you get the noodles charred, add in the rest of the stock and even add a bit more water. Right, you charred the noodles. Now you want to braise it. This is where we put back the seafood that we cooked earlier on. And some of the green vegetables. And the other key ingredient to KL Hokkien Mee is this pork lard. This really gives it a lot of flavor. So I just put in the pork lard. Another key ingredient is the soulfish powder. This really gives it umami. Alright. Now, turn the fire down and just leave it to braise for a few minutes. A bit of sugar, balance off the saltiness, a bit of pepper. Okay, so we are done. I like to serve it in a clay pot because I want it to be bubbling hot when I serve it, you know. So these noodles, as you can see, I've been cooking it for quite a few minutes, but they're still holding their shape very well, and they're still nice and chewy, so it's that bite. So really the key to a good KL Hokkien Mee is the noodles. So I present to you my KL Hokkien Mee. The most memorable KL Hokkien Mee was my cousin. I think about 20 or 30 years ago, I was in, he brought me to Petaling Jaya, right? I put it in my mouth and go, wow, this is the best, you know. Oh. This noodle has such a satisfying chew. I mean, it's thick. It's very toothy, you know. This one has got a little bit of that ghee smell, which is actually very important. Not too much, but a little bit of the ghee smell, ghee flavor really makes it very recognizable as the KL style Hokkien Mee. There you go. As you can see, it's quite easy to cook KL Hokkien Mee at home once you get your hands on the right noodles. So next time you go to the supermarket shelf, look out for LG, Tai Lok Min, and also check out some of the other products like the whole grain noodles and the kway teow. Until next time, happy cooking!